Guys, we came from London. We were like, it's always raining there, and we came here.
Raining as
So,
well.
raining as well. Awful weather. Guys, give me a cheer if you're from Germany.
Hey! Oh.
What? You were expecting like 100 people, right? So we're in Berlin. There's one German person in here. Really? Give me a cheer if you're from America.
Hey.
Loads. All right. Italy.
Yo.
There we go. Where else we go? Hello, welcome. What's your name?
George.
George. Where are you from?
Germany.
Oh, you are from Germany.
Yeah.
You didn't cheer.
No.
No, that's what we do in Germany. We don't cheer. What about you? What's your name?
Peter.
Peter. Where are you from?
Belgium.
Belgium. Okay. And you live in Berlin?
Yeah.
Nice stuff. You like it here? Good? Yeah? Nice. You live next door? Oh, that's great. Well, easy, convenient. Anyway, my name is Marco. As you can hear from my accent, I'm from Scotland. My English not good enough. Yeah, no, of course I'm Italian. But my ex-girlfriend was from Belgium. As I was. She is from Belgium. She's still alive, unfortunately. Just a bit upset actually, because she left me 2 weeks ago. She broke up with me 2 weeks ago. Yeah. That's the reaction. Like in London, everybody goes, "Ooh." Germany and Italy, nobody gives a shit. Yes, of course she left. You're a piece of shit. But yeah, she left me, so I'm pissed off because the reason why she left me is really weird. She left me because I didn't have a car. Can you believe that? Because I didn't have a car. It's a stupid reason, I think. And now she's with a nice guy with a car. They're always traveling around. I see their photos on Instagram and Facebook. So every time I'm watching the TV, there is a car accident reported, kind of hope it's them, but I actually bought my first car in the UK. I bought my first car in the UK, that's great last week, guys. Actually, yeah, you see, response from one guy who lives in London. The German people, like, again, we don't give a shit, they bought a car. Thanks guys, very warm welcome. But yeah, since I bought this car, it's actually working with the women. Because since I bought this car, all these girls are like waving at me in the streets, they stop me in the streets. It's a Toyota Prius, so they just think I'm a fucking Uber driver. That's the only reason, basically. But guys, we have a wonderful comedy night ahead. Are you ready for this? We got 8 comedians here. Are you ready for this? Yeah! Not enough energy, guys. Okay, we were expecting like 80 people in here. Probably the 20 of you. So let's clap your hands like if there is 200 people in here. Let's start clapping your hands like if there is 200 people in here. A bit more for the first comedian. Please welcome on stage Luca Cupani. Luca.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for coming. Yes, my name is Luca, and yes, another Italian, but I live in London. I'm living the dream. I share a flat with strangers and a couple of mice. I think they're a couple, maybe they're just friends. But I'm romantic. One day they'll be a couple. I hope for this. And I had a day job in London, call center, customer service. I never called anyone. People call me because they think that they have a problem. And when I answer, they realize they have another problem. And I like London, it's beautiful, it's a bit stressful. Walking in Berlin, it's huge, but people seem laid back, like easy. In London, everyone is quick. They walk like if someone is chasing them. Sometimes someone is chasing them to stop them and steal their wallet, and that's scary because in Italy we are used to a much better organized crime. I know I shouldn't brag about it, but we have a nice organized crime in Italy. I was on a bus in Naples a couple of months ago, and someone wanted my wallet, and they took my wallet. In such a beautiful way. I didn't even notice, no need to kill me. That was nice. We have also some violent crimes, but mainly it's within families. So as long as you don't have any Italian relatives, I would encourage you to visit Italy because, we might need your money in a legal way. Because financially, Italy is getting Greek. She's still Mediterranean, but not great. It's not a poor country. The thing is, we don't know how to spend taxpayers' money for the few ones who pay taxes anyway. Like the Italian Prime Minister, his official car is a Maserati. Why a Maserati? Ah, because it's an Italian car. So it's Fiat Panda. Can't you drive a Fiat Panda? No, but official cars need to be armored, bulletproof. You cannot have a bulletproof Panda, it wouldn't move. But the thing is, if you know, Panda is the safest car on the planet. Because if you drive a Fiat Panda, no one wants to kill you. They feel sorry for you. President Kennedy in Dallas, on a Fiat Panda, he would have survived. That's just what I'm saying. But I'm happy here. I feel also that air is a bit less polluted than in London. Because, for example, in London I don't smoke, but I breathe air. So it's just a matter of time. And in smoker, if you smoke, I love you because you are brave. They try to scare you with those pictures, you know, on the packaging, like the guy with a hole in his neck. It is so uncomfortable to smoke through a hole in your neck, but I respect the guy so much. And my favorite is the smoker's lungs. That's a picture of a pair of brownish lungs. I'm not a doctor, and the guy who had these lungs is not with us tonight. This is his chair. Especially if you compare these brownish lungs with the other picture, the white, fresh, crispy lungs of the non-smoking guy, who must be dead. Because I can see his white, fresh, crispy lungs outside his body. So, what's the message? What happened to the guy who didn't smoke? He should be with, that's his chair. He should be with us. I don't know. Maybe someone was chasing him in London. They never tell you the story. But you know, I try to be healthy. I drink green tea every morning. Ah, it's so healthy. Green tea, it's like licking grass. But hot, wet grass. But it's in a healthy way. And there's a British food, I don't know if you have in Germany as well, porridge, oatmeal. Do you you know, in Italy we don't have it. My uncle used to give it to his horse. We feed porridge to the horse and then we eat the horse. I know it's bad, but it's tasty. And now, here, if you remove the horse from the equation, you are left with porridge. So it's cheap, it's you know, it's healthy, it lowers my cholesterol, takes some happiness away. They should write on the packaging something like allergy advice. It contains oats and saltiness. Just you know, but I also today I visited the DDR museum. It's a wow, beautiful, and you know, and then there was a reconstruction of a building, of a flat, and that feels quite spacious compared to the flat I have in London. So I couldn't find anything bad. I said, okay, is this a problem? That's a nice room, and apparently you don't have to share with strangers. It's not that bad. I can't wait for London to have a Brexit museum, because in the DDR museum you see all the things that East Germany they couldn't have. In the Brexit Museum you will see all the things that they used to have in London before Brexit. And it will be nice in 20 years time. You know, oh, they could have wines from France. Yeah, France, yeah, they could. And you know, now I feel we are friends. I feel we really bond. And I can tell you my little secret. I'm Catholic. Yeah? Another Catholic? Yeah, just me? Okay. Yeah, my friend from Belgium. We will go to heaven in the future. Because when I was little, they told me, if you want to go to heaven, you have to be Catholic. And now it seems they changed terms and conditions. And last time I checked, they say if you want to go to heaven, you just have to be a decent person, which is difficult if you're Catholic. But I still try. I like a challenge when I see it. And the beautiful thing, when you're religious, you're never alone, because there's God somewhere over the rainbow, and He has a plan for you. What's the plan? We don't know. You know, it's mysterious. Sometimes God changes His mind. He gave me blonde hair, and He took it off. Why? He knows. I don't. But no, it's good. That's okay. I'm gonna ask Him later. And another thing, you're supposed to have a dialogue with God. And for example, years ago, I wanted to move to Japan to study Japanese, because I thought if I go to Japan and study Japanese, I will find a girlfriend. It was a complex strategy, it could have worked. I didn't go to Japan because before the trip there was the Fukushima earthquake. Do you remember? It was bad. It was good for an earthquake because it combined earthquake, tsunami and nuclear disaster. But for human beings it was bad. And I'm hypochondriac, so I don't. I'm okay with gluten and dairy, but nuclear radiations oh, I'm highly intolerant. I cannot have nuclear. My doctor said you cannot have it. So I canceled the trip, and a friend from my church came to visit me and said, oh, you know, I think this is a message of God for you, not to go to Japan. So God killed 30,000 Japanese because he didn't want me to go. How nice of them. I mean, just kill one Japanese. Make me find one dead Japanese on my doorstep with a sign, don't go there, God. Like Da Vinci Code for beginners. An easy one. I open the door, see the body, close the door, call the police, and we are safe. But one Japanese dead, but that's not so bad. Sometimes I think maybe, you know, the old Brexit is another message of God for me to leave London. Who knows? We will see. And even without the help of the Japanese trip, I managed to find a girlfriend which is now a wife. So if there's any single lady, if you were fancying me because I'm so handsome and irresistible, please keep fancying me because, you know, I'm Catholic, I need some temptation. I want to know, is my love strong enough? And I will say no, but I will resist temptation. But I would like to know what I'm missing out. Because when I was single, there was I've been single for a long time, you know, and there was a friend of mine, a knowing, and he kept telling me, oh, look, you're single, you're so lucky. Why? Because you can sleep with any woman. No. No, I can't. It's like telling a homeless guy, hey, you can sleep in any house. No, he can't. That's the issue. And you know, because, okay, I'll leave you with this secret. Give me a cheer if you lost your virginity when you were 28 years old. Just, okay. Okay, that's just me. I said 28 because it sounds better than 30. 30 sounds more accurate. But I don't even like the expression to lose virginity because I know exactly where I left it. I mean, I lost my phone once and I don't know where it goes, but my virginity, I remember the bedroom. I chose the music, you know, Beatles songs, because I'm romantic and I wanted it to happen on Michelle. And it took me a bit longer, I was a bit clumsy, and it happened on Eleanor Rigby, which is still a nice song, but a bit depressing. Father Mackenzie hanging around with his socks, and I still remember after so many, 5 years, but that's okay. Guys, you've been lovely, and have a Luca Compagni. Thank you very much.
Luca Compagni, ladies and gentlemen. Luca, good stuff. Are you guys doing okay? Yeah? You watch TV series here in Germany, guys? What's your favorite TV series? You don't? What's your favorite TV series? No, but you don't have a TV?
I haven't. No, I don't actually.
Netflix? Good. Nice. Any TV series, guys? You watch Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you watched the movie? Nobody? Not interested? Okay, in Germany, don't have Netflix here, what's going on? But if you ever watched it, Jesse Pinkman dies in the end of the movie. Just a fake joke, I'm joking. Actually, really, you believe me? Whatever I say, it's a lie. My favorite one is Game of Thrones. You guys know Game of Thrones? Yeah? Yeah? It's great. Great TV series. Because my life in London is like Game of Thrones. Like, living in London for 8 years. And Game of Thrones, that's 8 seasons. The first 5 years in London for me were great. Great. And then a crazy blonde woman came into my life and she destroyed it. Exactly like it happens with Joss now. But the crazy thing is that my parents actually pushed me to move to London. They were like, Marco, you know, you should go to London, you find a job, new things, new experiences. So I went there, I found a job. I was washing the dishes in an Italian restaurant for like 6 months. Raining all the time. Shit food, so new things, new experiences. Thanks, mom and dad. And then, of course, Brexit, right? Brexit happened, and then I was like, maybe I should move to America. What happened to America? Fucking Trump. So I was stuck in England, and I was like, I should just find a British girlfriend. And then I looked at them, and I changed my mind. But in London, it's just so easy to be single. It's just so easy, because I'm from a very small town in Italy, and if you break up with your girlfriend in Italy, her dad will probably kill you, her friends will just break your legs, everybody knows each other. But in London, it's so big, you never see each other, so what's the worst that's gonna happen if you break up with your girlfriend in London? She unfollows you on Instagram? Like, that's the worst case scenario that's gonna happen. But guys, you are in for a treat. We got a second comedian of the night. Are you guys ready for this? Yes! Still got some energy. Please welcome on stage, Sissy Lederer, ladies and gentlemen. Sissy.
the American portion of the evening.
Yay.
A lot of times, yay, a lot of times people ask, I know you, a lot of times people ask me, like randomly, like I'm in a cab or something, they'll be like, do you like, Trump, America, Trump, and I'm like, if the Americans that like Trump are not in Berlin. I once made the mistake on stage of not referring to myself as American, but rather saying that I'm from America. And there was a woman in the audience, and ooh, she'd been waiting all day for someone to refer to the U.S. as America, and she shoots her hand up, and she says, America is a continent. I was like, yeah, and I'm from it. Like, I don't know what, I'm sorry to not be specific enough for you. No, so I am American, but I'm not really American because I'm Jewish and we don't belong anywhere. Yeah, it was just the high holidays, and I had to work because I'm too broke, so where's that, how's that for your conspiracy? Where's my check? No, so I went on vacation with my Jewish mother this summer, and who wants to guess where we went? Anybody?
Israel.
Auschwitz.
Oh.
Auschwitz! Yes, my mother tricked me into going to Auschwitz. I feel like all Jews were tricked into going to Auschwitz. She calls me up and she says, Sis, I want to go to Auschwitz. And I said, don't phrase it like that. And it put me in the awkward position of having to say the sentence, I don't want to go to Auschwitz, which I really feel like should go without saying. So, I live, because I live in Berlin, and there's fucking monuments and her big thing was, I want you to have an experience, I want you to learn something. And I did learn something. I learned that you can use yeast infection cream on athlete's foot. But she wanted me to be there, she wanted me to identify with my Judaism. The interesting thing is that I'm Jewish, but I'm also an atheist, and that's the only religion you can do that for. Just because we just need to shore up the numbers, Like, yeah, you don't believe in God, but yeah, you're Jew, we gotta count you, there's only gonna be 8 of us. So every time I go to my grocery store, I have to pass this monument that's like a train car that, I don't know if it's actually a train car made up to look like a train car, but it's a train car, and there's this huge plaque that's just like, Juden nach Auschwitz, Juden nach Auschwitz, Juden nach Auschwitz. And so I have to grieve every time I need eggs. So my big problem with having to go to Auschwitz was, I feel like I shouldn't have to transfer in Dusseldorf. I feel like there should be a direct plane, door to door. You guys are loving me, it's embarrassing for you. So, no, I was on vacation with my mother, which led to the uncomfortable discovery by her of my tattoo, which, if you didn't know, Jews aren't supposed to get tattoos. Do people know that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, does anybody know why?
Oh.
It's a waste of money. Oh, I love that joke. The heartfelt stuff you didn't like, the anti-Semitic joke, you guys are like, yeah. No, so I was with my mom. I was with my mom for a while, and so much of my life I thought that I hated my body, and really I realized that I just hate her. I know I don't really hate her. We're really close. In fact, my mother and I would have the best mother-daughter relationship in the world if she went blind. I'd be like, yeah, I'm 76 pounds. I haven't eaten in 9 days. So what's new with you? No, I'm trying to lose weight and love my body, and there's a cognitive dissonance to that. And if you didn't laugh at that joke because you don't know that cognitive dissonance means, it just means I'm smarter than you. That's okay. Not everybody needs to be a genius. The real problem with losing weight is I feel like if I lose weight, I won't be able to hold a book open with my belly. And that's an important comfort for me. Smoke a bowl or jerk 2 guys off. No, I just got dumped recently for being a feminist. It was a super weird interaction. Dumped is a stretch. I don't know if we were really dating. We just were fucking for 5 days straight. I guess that's dating. I don't know. So we're talking on text because when we were together we weren't talking, and it comes up that he is boycotting a grocery store here. He's boycotting a grocery store called Edeka. And I asked him why, and it comes up that there was this really stupid fucking commercial right around Mother's Day that I won't go through the whole thing, but it's basically, thank you, Mama, that you're not Papa. It's like so, it's like how dumb Daddy is. It's like he's like breaking eggs and like he's just being, you know, whatever. It's like a dumb fucking, you know, fairness to him, is a dumb fucking commercial. But, so he sends me a link to this commercial with the words, get woke. And I mistook this as playful, so I responded with, calm down, snowflake. And it broke his brain. Like, he sent me back this screed about how, you know, white men are oppressed, and like, how feminism is a hate group. And like, can we just say that, like, even if this commercial is terrible and like sexist against men, which frankly it was, men are doing fine. Like, a grocery store commercial is not going to create a battalion of castrating Elizabeth Warrens like coming to your door. So he says to me, you know, feminism is a hate group. So I send him just the dictionary definition of feminist, which, if you don't know, is just like someone who believes that regardless of genitalia, people are equal or all deserving of dignity. And he responds, dictionary definitions are meaningless, which no, they're not. Like, you know how like I'm communicating thoughts that I've had to you with like sounds that have agreed upon meanings that we can all look up in a big book? That's not by accident. That's unheard. That's how language and communication works. Like, you know, I can't go into a restaurant and be like, bring me a cheeseburger, and then they bring me a patty with cheese, and I'm not just like, this isn't a cheeseburger. A cheeseburger is noodles covered with sauce. Because, you know, and I'm brave because I'm the only one who will admit it. Like, that's, you know, that's not how words work. So, so I forgot the end of this joke. No, oh, right, I do remember the joke. Thank God. The real loser in all of this PC, anti-PC, dignity versus injustice. You know who the real loser is? Pepe the Frog. He just wanted to feel good, man. Got completely co-opted. How much more time do I know? I hate asking that question. I'm just gonna keep doing material. 1 minute. Oh, I'll tell you a little bit about Germans. As if you didn't know. It's not so much the existence of rules that I can't abide. It's the relentless following of the rules. Like, that you can't cross against a crosswalk. I'm from New York, and that's insane to me, that you can't cross against a red light. I was on a date with this guy, and I go to cross the street. I live in Charlottenburg because I'm old and rich, and it's like a really, really quiet neighborhood. And I go to cross the street, and this guy's like, nein, das ist verboten. I was like, you were just telling me about how you buy speed paste on the dark web. How is this the line that you won't cross? Another guy's on his bike, he's like quivering, shaky. He's like, ah, the scheiße apple. And I was like, he seemed like he was choosing between cross the street and have a stroke. And he was going for stroke, because there's no rule against it. The worst thing for me, honestly, in the dating in German has been that I miss fucking English. English gets me so goddamn wet. Like, I find myself on the occasional date with an English speaker just being like, oh my god, baby, you've had those prepositions in all the right places. Thank you.
Give it up for Cici Leather, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for it. Welcome. Timbero. Oh, I Timbero. Let's have a round of applause for this new couple here in the room. Are you guys a couple? Welcome. Cool stuff. Guys, is there Italian restaurants in Berlin as well? Because in London there is loads. Yeah?
No.
Are they good? No. You say no. You say yes. Is there a lot? Yeah? Are they good? You think? Yeah, very nice. Is there a lot of Italian restaurants here?
Yeah.
Yeah? You guys live in here?
Not here, but
Okay.
Charlottenburg.
You know where you live, guys? Germany? You mean Earth?
No.
The planet Earth? No. Okay, cool. Cool stuff. But yeah, in London there is so many like fake Italian restaurants. Like last week I went to this restaurant. They had a board outside that said, Italian style, we want you to have the perfect Italian experience. I was curious, so I went inside. There were Italian flags everywhere. Even on the menus they said, 100% Italian style, we want you to have the perfect Italian experience. So you know, let's get them the perfect Italian experience. So I sat down, I ordered a pizza margherita, a coffee, an espresso of course, and then I didn't pay for the bill. You wanted the perfect Italian experience, you know, you fucking get it, I guess. Why am I saying this? Because we have another Italian comedian on stage. Are you guys ready for it?
Yeah!
Ettore Potente, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
Good.
My name is Ettore. I'm from Italy. So yeah, spaghetti, pizza, Ferrari. Yeah, but I'm from southern Italy, so it's more this mafia, criminality. So as soon as I run out of jokes, I will rob this fucking place. Well, I made this joke, and a Japanese guy came to me and he said, "Man, I didn't like your joke because it's based on a stereotype. Italian robbers, haha, what an easy way to make people laugh." And I said, "Really? Really, man? Your small dick? Really?" But, oh God, this is a stereotype too, of course, because Japanese don't have small dicks down there, you know. They have quite big pixels, right? We all know. Well, I'm spending my second year with this haircut, and I hope you like it, because I don't have many options, you know. How could that happen? Well, it's quite easy to explain. Well, one day, I woke up, I raised my head from the pillow, I washed the pillow, and my hair was still sleeping forever. Well, I think guys who are losing their hair can understand that feeling, but maybe women too, because if your hairdresser cuts your hair a half centimeter shorter, you're breaking tears. I don't like the way I look. What the fuck am I supposed to say? Huh? But guys who are not losing their hair cannot understand me, cannot understand that feeling. So I really don't know what to say to you guys. May you lose your dick, you lucky motherfuckers. It's not cool. I am not cool. I'm not sexy, and I know it. I mean, I'm not ugly, okay, but I'm not good looking. I'm average. Do you agree? Okay. How do I know I'm average? Because women keep telling me, "You're cute." Cute, just like a teddy bear. And who wants to fuck a teddy bear? But it's okay, I'm average, okay. But you know, they always say you have to feed your self-esteem, but that often leads you to completely lose the sense of reality. And I don't want to lose the sense of reality. I want to watch myself in front of a mirror, knowing who I am. And I know who I am. I'm not Chris Martin, okay? I'm the rest of Coldplay, okay? Those three motherfuckers we don't know anything about. We don't even know their names. I'm not the guy next door. I'm the guy next door, next to the guy next door. Okay? If you knock my door, I say, "Hey, hi, next door." Okay? But even if I'm not good looking, I've had a few girls, living, breathing girls, just like the one I used to follow home every night, just to be sure she was home safe. Of course, she didn't know she was my girlfriend. One day, I followed her to IKEA, and then I realized she was engaged. So I felt very bad, I felt very sad, but then I thought, come on Ettore, you know how they say, when a door closes, a Fontersvik opens. This joke was sponsored by IKEA, by the way. And the last one, the princess. I call her the princess because she was used to say, "I'm a princess, I'm a princess, treat me like a princess." So I took her to Paris, I rented a Mercedes, and I crashed it in a tunnel. They didn't like this joke in London. But there's a happy ending because she ended up in a wheelchair. She wanted to leave me, so I stole her wheelchair and she came crawling back to me. Because love always wins. Love always wins. But since I'm not good looking, I've also been left many times. And every time a girl leaves me, I hear the same voice, the same song playing in my head. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. Fucking saddest song of all time. I really hope one day an ex-boyfriend of Adele will finally record a song dedicated to her. And the song will be entitled, "Maybe You're the Problem, Bitch." Why have I been left? Well, it's quite easy to explain. One day, my ex-girlfriend bought some condoms, for her pleasure condoms, you know. So outside there were all those stimulating grips, and inside there was another guy. How many of you cheat? Please raise your hand, right? Always deny. Yeah. Can be very unsettling being left, especially if she leaves you for a guy uglier than you, right? Because I don't understand it. I mean, well, do you want to live a Samsung? Okay, then buy an iPhone. What is this Huawei you hang around with? Right? Can be very unsettling. So I grew my beard, trying to look better, trying to look like an iPhone, because I read an article which was titled "Guys with Beard Are Sexier," right? Wrong, wrong. Because the right title should have been "Sexy Guys with Beard Are Sexier." If you girls see a sexy beardy guy, what do you say? Sexier now. If you see an ugly beardy guy, what do you say? Maybe he's been left. Maybe he lost his job. Maybe he's a homeless. Maybe he's a terrorist. That's what you say. So I grew my beard, and people keep telling me, you look better now, you look way better now. And even if you don't mind the word now, I mean, is that even a compliment? I covered half of my face. According to your logic, I'd look even better with a fucking full helmet. Thanks.
Right, we got one more act, guys. But before introducing the next comedian, let's talk about something positive. Shall we talk about dreams? What do you think? Dreams?
Yeah.
If you can dream it, you can do it. Do you know this quote? You know who said this quote? If you can dream it, you can do it. Great crowd. Walt Disney said that. Walt Disney. How do you say that in German? You guys know? If you can dream it, you can do it. How would you say it? Not German people here. That's yeah. How would you say that?
Lebe deinen Traum.
Okay. I will learn the next time I'm in Berlin. I promise you, I will say that in German. In German. But yeah, I think that's bullshit. Because they tell you since you're a kid, you can follow your dreams. And I think that's not the right way to think, you know. Because the right way to think, I think, is to be a pessimist and always expect the worst. That's the secret of happiness. Because if you expect the worst, you're never disappointed. Let me give you an example. How many people in here actually achieve their dreams? Raise your hand. 1. See? 2. Okay. What was your dream when you were a kid?
To become a programmer.
Okay. Did you achieve that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good. Well, that's a round of applause for him. Well done. Woo! What was your dream when you were a kid? Go wild. Like football player, actor?
I don't remember.
You don't remember your dream? Interesting. Okay, cool. But you...
Maybe an astronaut. I don't know.
Okay, you clearly didn't achieve it. You're here on a Saturday night, like, watching an Italian guy talking in English in front of German people. Like, no, it didn't work for you. Don't worry, it's fine. You see, it's normal, I guess. I remember when I was 8 years old. Probably I was 9. I don't remember. It doesn't matter because I'm lying anyway. My teacher asked me, "So Marco, who do you want to be? Who do you want to become when you grow up?" So I went home. I kept thinking about it. I was like, I want to be a football player. But let's be honest, I would never be a football player. So I kept thinking, and I went to school the day after. I said, "Teacher, I want to be Batman." And she was like, "Batman? Why? Do you like superheroes or you want to be a millionaire?" I was like, "No, I just want both of my parents to die." You know, we have a dark joke just to test the audience here, guys. What I'm trying to say is that Walt Disney was a piece of shit, and is the reason why so many kids grow up disappointed and angry. Some stupid kids even think they can be president of the United States. And we have Trump today, so the reason why we have Trump is that quote from Walt Disney. That's all I'm trying to say. That was the whole point of the joke. But guys, one more comedian. Are you ready for this? You still got some energy? Yeah! We're gonna have a break so you can get drunk after this comedian. He's a great guy from London. Please welcome on stage, Philip Kosteletsky! Hello everybody.
Hello.
Are we all well? We all good?
Okay.
Look at this guys, look at this full head of hair. Wow, look at that. Impressive.
Show off.
Yeah, fuck you. That's because I don't believe in God, that's why it happened, you know? You can't take things away from me if I never gave him the choice. But it's good, how are you all? You all well? It's a lovely little room here. My name is Philip, I come from Austria, America and Slovenia. Yeah, it's nice. It's a fun little room, isn't it? In Austria in a basement with a microphone and a room full of people. This is exciting times. Alright, not the room for this, got it. But I live in London now, which is quite cool. You guys have all obviously heard of the Brexit thing, right? What does it feel like in a different country to hear about Brexit? No one gives a shit.
It's just a shit show.
It's just a shit show, is really what it is, right? You know, it's weird for me, because what I find most interesting about Brexit are the protests that are still happening, right? You know, like, I think it's always good to keep fighting the good fight, but I think it's a little too late for it, you know? That's what I worry about. I feel like they should have done it when Brexit was first announced, but everyone just kind of assumed that they'd win. Because I feel like protesting Brexit now is like being in the hospital with your wife, holding her hand as she's giving birth, and then you put the condom on. Backwards chain of events is what I feel it is. Yeah. But I'm from Slovenia. Anybody ever been to Slovenia? Alright, cool, sweet. Tourism is our #1 industry, so we're killing it in this room. We really are. We're doing a great job. Now, for those who don't know Slovenia, it's a very small Eastern European country with only 2 million people, right? But despite our size, we actually have our own standing army. Believe it or not, I think that's quite cool. I mean, it's 2 old men, a goat, and a tank, but they defend the border, they keep it strong, you know? But do you guys, there's like a talent show here in Germany, so it's like Deutschland has talent, right? We had a talent show in Slovenia as well. It was called Slovenia Ima Talent. Slovenia has talent. And after 2 seasons, we found out we don't. We really don't. I think a goat from the army won 1 year, actually. And it's kind of how it worked, you know. But I grew up in Slovenia as a... Wow. As a...
Watch out.
Yeah, watch out, watch out. Careful here, guys. Is that alright for everybody? Everyone's still living?
I think so.
Oh, we have new people joining us. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, come on in. What's your name, sir?
Thank you. Thanks.
What's your name?
You're coming. Raimund.
Raimund.
Yeah.
It's an English-speaking comment out. You're cool with that, right?
Okay.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
I know one joke in German if you want to hear it.
No.
Okay. Wow, that was painful. That's German hospitality there for you. How friendly. Nice to meet you, man. My name's Philip.
Okay.
I like how you don't care. She doesn't. He just went, no, I don't care. I don't care about you. What do you have there?
Next.
Grapes. Nice. How did you find out about the show?
The show.
Yeah, how did you find out?
It's the internet.
It's the internet?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. I thought there would be something. I thought I'd be able to dig. But no. Okay. Lovely stuff. Now, I grew up in Slovenia. I grew up as a child of an only parent, which is kind of interesting. Was anybody here only raised by one parent? Give us a cheer. Nobody? Really? Oh, you're all so fucking privileged. Okay, cool. So good to know who I'm dealing with, right? So my father left me when I was 9, right? Just me, not the rest of my family, which was always very interesting. I got a laugh out of him. Yes, I'm fucking winning, dude. Yes. Okay. Now, so I think it's obviously you guys don't know this, but it's weird when my father left, right? Because I could tell that my mother was trying to fill his role, you know. Like I'd come home one day and I'd say something like, "Oh, Mama, can I go to this party tonight?" And she'd say, "Wait till your father gets home." And then she'd go, "No, you can't." So that was fun. That was always a good time, you know. I think it's especially weird as a boy when you only have one parent, right? Because the insult other boys used against me when I was younger, they never really worked, right? Like what's like a classic like boy insult? It's something like, "Oh, I fucked your mom last night," right? Boys, they always say that to each other. But boys, they'd come up to me and they'd say, "Oh, I fucked your mom last night." And I'd say, "She's a single, divorced woman. She can do what she wants with her time." Has no impact on my life, you know? Please fuck my mother if you want to fuck my mother, right? Does anybody in this room want to fuck my mother? What's wrong with my mother? Nobody? Do you want to fuck my mother?
Yeah, probably.
Good stuff. Lovely. She gets lonely at night sometimes, you know? I'm not around to do it anymore. Anyway, so that was disgusting. We should have left it there. It's interesting. So people often ask you like what it's like growing up with only one parent. And the easiest way how to explain it, like when, was it Tindaro?
Yeah.
When you were younger, right, and you asked your father to do something for you, and he said, "Oh no, I'm busy at the moment. Can you ask your mother?" Did that ever happen to you, right? Then it'd be busy.
They went out there, probably.
Okay. So I chose the perfect audience for that joke. Someone would shoot it down. Did that ever happen to you guys? You ask your father if he was, and then you'd be busy, and he'd say, "Oh no, ask your mother." It's like that, but every time. That's what it's like with one parent. Every single time. So it's fun. And we've had a fun day today in Berlin. It was nice. I've started doing this cool thing. I figured this out today. This is what I like to do. You know when you go to the urinal, right? When you go to pee. I've started doing this. Obviously, women don't, but just imagine. Imagine being able to pee and own most property and have all the luxuries there, right? So I started doing this thing today where I went up to the urinal, right, and I put my arm behind my back. So instead of peeing, I feel like I'm pouring a fine wine, you know? So it's like this, you know? It's also nice when there's more than one urinal free, because I feel like it's multiple customers, you know? So it's like a Pinot Grigio for the madam, and a Sauvignon Blanc for the gentleman, yes, you see? I thought that was fun and silly, but you guys are not on board, and that's fine. Oh, it's been a fun day, though. It has been a fun day for me. I went to the grocery store today. That was exciting. And do you know those machines, those self-service checkout machines? The things that used to be human beings, right? If you go to... I went on the settings today and I switched it to English. And I don't know if there's something weird with the translation, but I went to the settings, I set it to English, and I started paying with cash, right? And a little message shows up and it says, do you want to pay the rest another way? Which sounds kind of normal at first, but also a little bit dirty, right? Like, pay the rest another way. Like, you start paying with cash, a little robotic penis comes out. You're gonna have to jerk it off a few times. And you cover your tab, right, you know? Because only the machine could say that. You couldn't have the guy behind the cash register. You start paying with cash, and he's like, "I'm sorry, do you want to pay the rest another way?" And you're like, wow, maybe, yeah. That's about my time, guys. You've been absolutely wonderful. I hope you've got another ahead of you. All right, see you later. Bye. Give it up for Philip Kostarevsky. That was the last comedian of the first half. Guys, we're gonna have a break of like 10-15 minutes so you can get some drinks. We got 4 more acts in the second half, and Liliana will be hosting the second half. So I'll see you later. Thank you. We got new people in. Yeah, welcome. What's your names? You don't have names? Was it? You don't want to interact with the? Yeah.
Actually, I was screaming, so yeah.
Okay. What's your name? Hi, where are you from?
Italy.
Oh, Italy.
Sicily. Always have been
Sicily. So you're not from Italy? Sicily. What about you? Are you from Italy as well? Where are you from? What's your name? Maria. Nice to meet you, Maria. And welcome to this wonderful comedy show. Guys, you still got some energy for the second half? Woo! So, I'm not gonna be the host, so you guys can smile, yeah, be happy and cheer now, because you are wonderful hosts for the second half. Please, welcome on stage the great Liliana Velasquez.
That's right, mi gente. What's up, Lagari? You got your Colombian host now, Liliana La Colombiana. It's nice being here. I'm a dirty bitch. Whoever knows me knows that. For those of you who don't, I've been trying to be much better. I moved to Berlin. I found out that everybody was kinky. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna become vanilla. I'm rebellious like that. I don't like to do what everybody does. No. Because everybody gives it away for free here. I'm like, what? Why? I used to charge money for them, and I used to pay my rent being kinky. In Berlin, I can't even buy a coffee off kink. It's crazy. You know, I'm gonna get you all a little dirty with me. I'm gonna get you all to join me in this energy that I'm feeling. I have a movie that I loved as a child. How many of you like musicals? Woo! Yeah, what's your favorite musical?
Cats.
Cats. It's very typical, yeah. Anyone else? Yes?
Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the Rain, oh, I love that. Gene Kelly, oh, yeah. Mine has to do with a nun who got hired by this rich man and then #MeToo raised his kids. It's the sound of music. It's pretty much the short version of the story, right? So, my favorite part of that song is My Favorite Things, you know? When they sing, and it's raining outside and everybody's a little scared. But my favorite things are a little bit different. My favorite things are a 7-foot-long single tail, double-sided dildo, handcuffs with my name on it. So I changed the song a little bit. And I think I'd like all of you to join me just to get this night, the second half going on a little like side. You with me?
Yeah.
The chorus of the song goes something like this. For why? Because yes, my favorite is kink. Can you sing that with me? Yeah? For why? Because yes, my favorite is kink. One more time. For why? Because yes, my favorite is kink. Raindrops on latex and whiskers on kittens, light S&M stretches and blah 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 mittens, cock and ball packages tied up with string. For why? Because yes, my favorite is kink. Cream-colored snail trails and hot scented wax, you know what I'm talking about. Chastity belt bells and your privates inside. Wild beasts that hang with their ankles up high. For why? Because yes, my favorite is kink. Drag queens in white dresses with big fake eyelashes. Snowflakes and slave boys all four on their asses. Cross-dressing force femme with dildos inside. For why? Because yes, my favorite is kink. When the dawn peaks, when the whip strikes, when you're feeling bad, just simply remember that you're serving me, and then you will play much more. And when I was 33 years old, I took my stuff back home to Miami, Florida. I'm a Colombian woman that grew up in Miami, Medellin, New Jersey, New York. Those are all Colombian cities. But most importantly, when I was 33, I broke up with this guy, you know, because I'm a whore. So I dated him for a while. I like to call him Mr. Was Gun. He was in a metal band. He actually played the last time that's before CBGB's closed. His band was called Jesus Knievel. That should have been a sign to leave him. His song went, I'm a criminal, criminal. Ah. He wore leather, I wore leather, and he's very sticky. But, you know, dating is difficult, dating is strange, you know? You don't think that you're gonna end up with these weird characters, you know? Dated another guy, I used to call him Mr. More. Mr. More. That one was a B movie producer, a writer, a director. Oh, basically, he did softcore porn for late night HBO. I didn't care. I was like, yes. He introduced me to his friends. He said, hey, oh, over here, over there, there's my future ex-wife. I was like, what? He asked him for his cell phone. He's like, what do you need to do? Check in? I was like, no, I need to tell people I'm not coming home tonight. He was like, He got nervous. He thought to himself, I am too old for you. I was 24 at the time. I don't know how old he was. I do realize when he said this to me, I said, you're 16 years younger than my ex. The guy that I used to call Mr. 36, because he was 36 years older than me. I know. Hey, that's how I got my college education. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, tomato. I like to go on dates, or at least I used to like to go on dates until I moved to Berlin. And I grabbed one man, I'm like, I don't care, you're mine, we're doing this. Make it work. I said, make it work! Relationships are fun. But I did go on dates for a while, and I remember this one date. What I like about dates is how romance is very easily established. You know what I find romantic? Somebody that pays the bill. You know what's great about that? It's gender non-specific. Equality for all men. But I'm on this date, and the person's name is Sam, and I'm 42 years old. I know you're like, oh, what? It's all the cocaine and cum I put on my face every morning. It's better than egg whites. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, it could be Samuel, or it could be Samantha. I don't know, it's 2019. People dress weird, or normal, whatever. They dress in a way I can't tell what's happening. So I'm excited because I don't get many surprises at this age. Like all the surprises, I've already had them. So I'm like, ooh, I get the surprise later. I'm gonna open a package. Yay. Sam looks at me and says, Liliana, have you ever cried and had an orgasm at the same time? At that moment I realized Sam was very young. I was like, oh, Sam. Have you ever been fisted and electrocuted by a Puerto Rican dominatrix at the same time? Sam? Sam, where are you going? Sam, I haven't gotten my surprise. Yeah, dating is fun, huh? Dating is fun. How many of you here in a relationship right now? All right. Oh, several. How long are we going for?
4 years.
Ooh. And you met in Berlin? No, that's why. Okay. So where are you from?
I'm from Italy.
And you?
I'm from Kyrgyzstan.
Oh, it's very compatible. Passionate.
Wow.
Yeah. 4 years. Good for you. Over here, what do we got?
French, Italy, 2 years.
2 years. All right. French Italy. Does that work?
Yeah.
It's not too close? Not too bad. A little bit? Who's in charge? What's the right answer, sir? What's the right answer? What do we have in the back? Who else is dating in the back?
4 years again.
4 years. Ooh, competition. Where are you from?
Italy.
Oh. I don't know. I don't date Colombians. I'll fuck them, but I won't date them. Well, good for you. Congratulations on all these healthy relationships. And the rest of you, congratulations on being single. Single rocks. Single is awesome. Single is the future. Single is the future because dating sucks so much right now because of the internet. In 20 years, when you're dating, people are going to be like, what's wrong with you? You're dating? I have my kids frozen. Waiting for the future. Yeah. I'm dating. Poor bastard. Dating me goes something like this. Kapow! Meow! Wonder Woman! Hit him with a pineapple. I will burn your motherfucking house down with strawberries, bitch. That's what it's like to date me. It's fun. I'm memorable. I moved here to date a German. Anyone else make that mistake? No? He's wonderful. I loved him dearly. Most generous man I've ever dated. But I felt very... How do I put this nicely? Dating a German is lonelier than being single. It's true. Let me demonstrate how Germans flirt. That's hardcore flirting in German. It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. I didn't know this until I moved here. You know, I met this German in New York City, so he was a little bit eclectic, I thought. I was like, he's just a little strange. But quickly, I found out that it wasn't going to work out, you know? Because I'm a speaker, man. I like to communicate. I think relationships are about communication. My mother always says, Liliana, actions speak louder than words. And I'm like, Mama, por Dios. 75 consecutive long-winded text messages get the fucking point across. I text message so much that my thumbs cramp up. I have to hit send with my clitoris. Nothing stops me from communicating. Yeah. I realized very quickly that I still needed this man around in my life to do my taxes. And then, when he did my taxes, this man showed so much emotion. I had never seen a German so happy. He was like, the numbers! It's like, oh, good! It's like my mother is hugging me. I was like, damn, that's all I needed to save this relationship, have this man do my taxes earlier. Be like, please, I need you to look at my bank account. He would have run the other way. My bank account's at 0. Fun times. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we've got a fabulous second half. We had a great first half. I'm looking forward to the rest of this night. I've got a little whiskey in my hand. Who's got a drink in their hands?
Yeah.
Aww. If you have a drink in your hands, put it up in the air. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. Let's have a kick-ass second half. Salud. Salute. Saluti? Salute. 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 Woo. Is there a dirtier way to say that in Italian? What?
A lot.
Oh, plenty. All right, well, you're going to be hearing a little bit more about me throughout the night, so I'm going to bring it on and keep it moving right along. Are you ready for the first performer of the second half? That's right, mi gente. I want to hear more passion. We got Italian, Pakistan, we got France, we got loud people in here. Are you ready for the second half? That's right, put your hands together and let me feel all that love for Tiziano!
Lovely. How you doing, folks? You right? Yeah. How you doing, folks? You right?
Yeah.
Lovely. All right then. So I'm gonna ask you this: who here is Italian? Who here is not Italian? All right then. No, I love this room. You know why? Because I can relate to both sides. You know why? Because yeah, I'm Italian, but sometimes I feel like I'm half Italian. You know, because my father is Italian, but my mom is a good person. Right? But yeah, let's get started now. All right. So, I mean, what shall we say about this? That I moved to London a couple of years ago. Have you guys been to London? Yeah. Do you guys like London?
Yes. Sometimes.
All right. No, I'm asking you this because I moved to London and my name is Tiziano. Tiziano. And believe me, if you live in England, you don't want that name. I got a friend, Jonathan, I call him John, he calls me Tits. You see the problem, right? There is a problem. And this about the language has been a problem for a very long time, guys. I mean, also what I realized recently, if you've been to London or any English-speaking country as well, I realized that when English people talk to you, you better understand what they say. You know why? Because they're going to check if you understood. Like in the middle of every single conversation, at some point the average English person will say, "Do you know what I mean?" Every time it happens, I have a panic attack. Panic attack. Do you know what I mean? No, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? It's so mysterious. You don't know what I mean. But every conversation makes me doubtful. Like every conversation, like my dog, my new dog. I love him so much. I love him. I took him home, and it's amazing. So you love the dog. That's okay. Yeah, but I love him. He loves me back. It's like a person. So you guys love each other. That's okay. Yeah, but I love him. He loves me back. He's like a person. Do you know what I mean? Are you having sex with the dog? I mean, I don't understand. Help me out here. But apart from English, that I had the problem at the beginning, I love languages. I love it. And the news of the month is this. I'm studying French, everybody. Yeah. Anybody speak it?
Yeah.
There you go. And that. Anybody? No. That? No. Nobody. There you go. Okay. Because you're French. You French, si. Alright. No, okay, I'm telling you, I want to make you understand my level. Because the other day I was talking to a French lady. And at some point I said to her, "Je mange une orange." Which means I'm eating an orange. Now, I didn't say it because I needed to. I said it because it's the only French sentence that I remember. She only asked me what the station was. But that's the point, because straight after I learned the sentence, "Je mange une orange," I realized that I didn't need to study any further. I just needed to buy an orange. And hold it in my hand all the time. And this is what I'm gonna do when I go to Paris. I'm just gonna walk in the street enjoying the lovely view with an orange in my hand, and if anybody asks me anything, I'll just go, "Oh, je mange une orange." And if they keep asking, I'll go, "Oh, je mange un bouton d'orange," which means I'm eating a fucking orange. And then I'll walk away. And that person will think, "That guy is an idiot." But you know what? I can't prove that he doesn't speak French. That's a win for me. That is a win. That is a win for me, everybody. That is a win. But I mean, how are you guys hanging up with the language? I mean, Italians in the room. Do you live here in Berlin? Yeah? Yes? Yeah, alright. Is German
Oh, it's a fucking disaster.
It's a fucking disaster. Teach me to say I'm eating an orange, please.
Ich esse eine shit, you see.
Einen shit to see. Like this? Can work, can work. Mate, you German, teach me.
Ich esse eine Orange.
Say again?
Ich esse eine Orange.
Ich say, I think I'll keep on with French. It's nice, but I'll get that, I'll get that. But I don't mind living in London because, you know, it's like, let's say this, I miss Italy sometimes. I have to say that sometimes I miss Italy. And that's why I go back often. Very often I go back to Italy, I visit Italy, and that's why I fly often. And I don't know if you agree with me, but every time I'm on a plane, I can't help thinking that, in my opinion, flying is just the most unbelievable thing that a human being has achieved, right? I mean, a normal person, totally normal person who can fly. That's amazing to me. That is just a miracle. Do we agree on this?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. So I always ask myself, why do pilots sound so sad in the pre-flight announcement? Why is that? Follow me on this. I'm sitting there on the plane, right? All excited, I'm about to fly over the sea, like an eagle. And then I hear the voice from the speaker. Dear passengers, welcome aboard flight A702 from Rome, Fiumicino to London Heathrow. Our flight time will be way too long. And the weather in London is windy and cloudy, like I feel on the inside. Please make sure you switched off your phones. However, if your life is like mine, don't worry about it. Because nobody's going to call you anyway. Why are they so sad? I mean, if they can fly, why they can fly? Okay, let me put it this way. If I were a pilot, do you want to know what my pre-flight announcement would be? Do you want to know it, guys? Yeah? Alright, just imagine this is a plane. You're all passengers, okay? And all of a sudden you hear my voice from the speaker, and it's this one. Thank you, good night. All of a sudden you hear my voice from the speaker, and it's this one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Labella, and we're about to take off, so put your fucking hands up! Everybody go, 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 go! Are we gonna fly with your hands up? Are we gonna fly with your hands up? Are we gonna fly with your hands up? Go, go, even if you're your hands up, even if you're your hands up, are we gonna fly with your hands up? Go, go! And now let's make some fucking noise! I wanna hear it from the ladies! And now men! Ladies! Gentlemen! And now everybody, ew! And now everybody ready to scream on my count and say 1, 2! But real pilots don't do that. They don't do that. It's fine. They're sad people. Is anybody afraid of flying here? Anybody? Just me. Nice, I don't believe that, but it's fine. Because I'm not really afraid of flying. I'm afraid of the landing process, you know? When the plane starts to do this, I shit myself, I can't help it. I'm like resigned to death, okay? I know we're about to die, it's obvious. But the last time I was flying, it was like a month ago, I was going from Rome to London. And when the landing process started, I sent a text to my mom saying, "You have been a great mother. I'm about to die." And I'm leaving you guys with the text that my mom used to reply. She texted me back, "Switch off your phone on the plane, you idiot." Thank you guys, you've been lovely, thank you.
Give it up for Tiziano Labella, yeah! I wish I was on a plane like that. I like to travel a lot. How many people here have 2 passports? Woo! Who's got 2 passports? Come on. What you got in the back?
I got 3 actually.
3, fuck you. People with 2 passports, raise your hand. What do you got here?
Italian and American.
Oh, she's a secret Italian in the audience. Yeah, when Cece earlier got on stage and she said there's one person that's always shouting, America's a continent, that's me.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's shouting that. Because America is a continent. And I represent all of the Americas. I am a Colombian American woman. You know, I was born in New Jersey. So close to New York City that when I came out of my mom's vagina, I was like, Mama, why? No. I'm born in a little town in New Jersey called Weehawken. I'm exotic, man. I am exotic. Weehawken. But I have 2 passports. I got a Colombian passport and a blue United States passport. And I have never had a good time traveling with my Colombian passport. Or actually, my United States passport, because it was issued in Colombia. So even though it was blue, the moment they saw Bogota, as the embassy that gave it to me, they were like, we need to go through your bags. So I always travel with my dirty stuff, man. I travel with dirty panties, period panties, dirty dildos, everything's sticky, it's horrible. I'm like, yeah, go right ahead. You're gonna go through my shit, you might as well go through my shit. But now, for the first time ever, the Colombians are allowed to travel without a visa to Europe. We can do the 3 months, in and out without any problem. That wasn't normal in the past few years. That only happened recently. And because of that orange asshole in the United States, nobody wants to use their blue passport as much, So now when I go through immigration, and they say, ma'am, where are you from? I look at them and I go, Colombia! They say, step aside, ma'am. You are a little bit too excited. But because I've become vanilla by living in Berlin and I don't do kinky things as often as I like, when they put me in that little room, I get wet. I'm like, whoosh. I love people in uniform. I love role play. I love teasing and denial. Bondage. I'm thinking to myself, what are they going to do to me? I wonder what this officer is going to look like. Should I tell them my safe word? I love you. It works. I'm like, oh God, I'm getting sweaty. No. Play it cool. You got this, Liliana, you got this. Wait till they come in. I start doing my makeup. I'm all like, oh shit, did I shave today? Take it as you get it. It's fine. They're gonna love you. The officer comes back into the room and they look at me as they put on their glove and they're like, ma'am, do you have anything to declare? And I said, yes, Papi. I don't have a latex allergy. Take your time. And if you're gonna judge me by a stereotype, well, I'd much rather be considered a drug dealer than a racist. Fuck Trump. Yeah, that's right. They kept me in that room for a while, but I had more fun than they did. Traveling is fun. So now we're going to travel to another Italian performer for this evening. Sono tutti tutto bene, yeah, bene. Look, I took Italian in high school because I fucked a lot of Italian men in New York, all right? But my conversations go from posso andare al gabinetto to sì. All right, people, are you ready for our next comedian of the night? Give it to me like I'm about to come on your face. Come on, are you ready for the next comedian of the night? Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, please, for Salvatore Zappia!
Thank you very much. Yeah. Great. I am Salvatore Zappia. I'm from Italy, surprisingly. And I'm not very used to stand up in English, to do stand up in English. I'm used to stand up in every language, when you try to make someone laugh in a language that is not yours, it's weird. It's like having sex with a girl using a dildo. I mean, it's fine, but it is not exactly the instrument you were used to since you were a child. you had your instrument, and then someone told you that it is not enough wide and vibrating. So here I am, and I come from Pisa, that is a small town in Italy, but it's famous because of the Leaning Tower. Do you know the Leaning Tower? Yeah. How many of you have seen the Leaning Tower in person? Oh, are you Japanese? Okay. Yeah, money, great. I think the Leaning Tower is very beautiful because, well, mainly because it didn't fall. This is the biggest reason. Yeah, because sometimes people ask, how can the tower be so beautiful? Black, just black, because you know, we didn't want a Leaning Tower, we wanted a straight one, but when they built the tower, they built the first 2 floors, and then the ground collapsed, and the tower began to lean, and they stopped for a while, and then they built the 3rd floor straight with respect to the ground, but then the ground collapsed again, and luckily they didn't continue with the same method, otherwise we didn't have a leaning tower, but a penis tower that we didn't want. I'm not gonna speak about penis all the time, I promise. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. You for the show? No, just do that. Okay. And now the tower is famous all around the world, and there are so many tourists come from all over the world, and most of them are Japanese. There are so many Japanese people coming, hundreds of Japanese every day. I've been living in Pisa since '95, and I didn't know there were so many Japanese in the world. I've never seen the tower without at least a Japanese person nearby. It seems they don't want to leave the tower alone. I don't know, they are not visiting the tower. They oversee the tower. They are supervising. Maybe I don't know. Maybe at the end of the journey, every Japanese thinks, oh, what a pity. I lost the moment of the fall. But in the meanwhile, I'll do a photo making the Nazi salute. This is what I do. So I come from Pisa, but my father is from Calabria. Do you know Calabria? It's a region in the south, in very south of Italy, and sometimes I go there because there is my grandmother, and my grandmother is a very simple person. She just wants me to eat Parmigiana and have babies. If you are from Sicily, you understand. And I have no problems with Parmigiana. I'm fine, even if when I eat 6 portions as she wants, then for all the night I feel it in my stomach. I can track it like an Amazon package, but I don't have a problem. But the problems are with children, because, you know, every time we have the same dialogue. She always asks me, why don't you have babies? Your cousin has already 200 babies. And I always answer, Grandma, I'm very different from my cousin. We have different interests. For example, I like to sleep, and I like vomit, but not so much. And anyway, I prefer mine. And anyway, we are in 2019. Come on, the Earth is overpopulated. Why still having biological babies? I mean, basically, being a father is just helping another human being to do a step after another, to understand who he is, take care when he shits himself. If you miss these things, you could go to the Oktoberfest. I mean, it's not that difficult. I think just that a newborn is just a drunk person, very, very small. This is what I think. And no, I like children of the others, but I think that if I would have my children, there would be some competition, because, you know, the children want to be always at the center of attention, and in every situation, when there is a child around, he has to go to every person to say, look what I drew, look what I wrote, look what the priest did to me. Hey, it's not only you in the world. Anyway, no, I just think that still have to take care of myself because, you know, I'm 33, and sometimes I think to what I did in my life, what I could do, and sometimes I go on internet to see the biographies of the famous people, to see what they did before 33, and never do it, by the way, never do it. And yeah, for example, John Lennon. John Lennon, before 30, he did all the Beatles stuff. He wrote Imagine at 31. Imagine, at 33, I wrote this sketch. And there is not even the music, if you're asking. Or Cristiano Ronaldo, he did an incredible career, and he has my age, fucking bastard. And speaking about people who did a lot before 33, Jesus did a lot before 33, everything. And sometimes I think to Jesus, I don't know why, I'm not Catholic like Luca, I'm not religious at all, but my mom is Catholic, and since I was a child, I didn't understand religion, and mainly I didn't understand the competition between religion, because, you know, every religious person thinks that at the end of time, his God will defeat all the other gods and will be recognized as the only true God. And okay, I get this, it's like football, but I really don't get how nobody asks how strong are the competitors. I mean, nobody says, yeah, I believe in Allah, but Shiva did very well this year, could be a problem, but no one. So sometimes I imagine the end of time, and I imagine it like a big ceremony with all the televisions, like an Academy Award. And I imagine that in the audience there are all the gods, and there is the big moment, the Oscar for best divinity in a monotheistic religion or whatever. And I imagine that the Catholic God wins, and he goes on stage very excited, and he goes like, I would like to thank everyone who believed in me, my mother, my father, that's always me, by the way, my son Jesus, without which probably I would not be here, and I would like to thank mostly Joseph, who gave new meanings to the word team play, and I imagine that in the audience there are all the gods very, very upset, except for Buddha, he's very quiet. But I don't know, I think to Jesus sometimes, and I think that he didn't care. He didn't care if you had children or not, if you had a traditional family or not. He professed love. He professed love between man and women, women and women, man and man. He didn't care the way you choose to live. I told this to my grandma, and she was incredibly convinced. She looked at me in the eyes, as she never did. She looked at me in the eyes and she said, okay, sweetheart, I understand, but don't try to leave the Parmesan on the plate. Thank you so much, thank you.
Get married when you did your first communion. I was at a wedding. I forced my cousin to put on a suit, and I was like, we're getting married. I made my Cabbage Patch Dolls watch. Then my mom came inside, she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm marrying my cousin. They should have known better by then. It's pretty early on that they should have been like, oh, we have a problem. We have a problem. Yeah. I was very young when I got my first kiss. Anyone else? First kiss? Remember your first kiss? Yeah, mine was a bit of a surprise. I was getting off a bus in Miami, and this guy named Daniel, he was Cuban. Blue eyes, curly hair, sun-kissed skin. Daniel gave me a whole bunch of bracelets, and then he just kissed me out of the blue. And I was like, ah, bracelets. I got home, I told my mom, like, Mama, Daniel gave me all these bracelets, they're beautiful. And she was like, And what did Daniel want? I was like, Mama, Daniel didn't want anything. Daniel took. Typical, it was the 80s. My mom looked at me and she said, Mijita, do you like boys or girls? And I was like, wow. My mother's trying to bond with me on a deep level. This is healthy communication. I was 5. I was 5, and I looked at my mom and my dad. He was always very quiet. He had too many daughters. So I looked at my mom and I was like, boys, girls, bracelets. Boys, girls, bracelets. Mama, Papa, I like everything! And my mother said, no! Our daughter's a nymphomaniac! I didn't know how to spell nymphomaniac when I was 5. I don't know how to spell nymphomaniac now that I'm 42. But my mother is always right. My mother is always right. She was so upset that I was bisexual. To her, it was worse. It was worse than being gay. Her daughter was just a whore. She's like, greedy! You're greedy! Sometimes I wish I was gay, because my parents are homophobic. You know? So I do wish I was gay, just so I could give them a little jab, because they love me to death. They'd be like, okay, our daughter's gay, we are now LGBTQ, yay. My dad would buy a rainbow flag, he'd be like, nobody messes with my daughter. Yeah, but I'm not. I'm just a whore. So it's terrible for Catholics, man. I grew up Catholic Colombian. Yeah. It's deep, it's deep, it's deep. I like to call myself a cat-aholic Colombian. Yeah. My parents and friends and family, they always say to me, Liliana, why? Why? Why cat-aholic? Why not Catholic Colombian? Why do you believe in cats? And I tell them, because I can see them. That's simple. Also, I like the way a cat lives. I like the moral of a cat, man. If a cat likes you, it will show you its asshole. Can you say consent better than a cat asshole in your face? I don't think so. And if a cat doesn't like you, it will shit on your pillow. I have done both those things for a lot of money. I'm a cat-aholic Colombian. You think I'm crazy? The next performer that I'm going to bring up, this bitch is crazy in the best manner. She runs several shows around Berlin, one on Sunday that I'm not going to mention because I got a show on Sunday. But I love her to death. She's wild, she's unique, she keeps her own standards wherever she wants them. Sometimes high, sometimes low. It's really up to her. That's what boundaries are all about. Put your hands together, please, for the fabulous, the one and only, Lena Stolbe!
I don't know if I should hate or love myself after this introduction. Also, thank you, Liliana, for reminding me about my first kiss, because my first kiss vomited in my mouth. Yeah, because I grew up in Russia, so it's kind of okay, low expectations. I moved here 5 years ago from Russia because I wanted to fuck not disgusting people, and I'm still failing at that, obviously. But I'm just calling it my kink now, you know, because it's safer to tell yourself it was your decision. But I'm not here to talk to you about that. I'm here to just tell you one thing. Just think about it. Have you noticed how only flexible people get possessed? Like, whenever you watch a film, right? These people, like, you would never see like a super stiff, bulky man just like blinking out of his eyeballs and praising Satan, right? These people are always very bendy, which kind of makes possession rather hot. I also think that you, like, if you're possessed, should take it as a compliment because it means that you're in great shape. Do we actually have any people who do yoga here tonight? Yoga people, make some noise? Yeah, okay. So you're in the risk zone, okay? Like once you can do splits, there's no going back. Because it makes yoga a scary possession, you know, because whenever I see a person in down dog position, I never know what to do. Like, should I go namaste and make fun of the person because I can, or should I just spray holy water over them? You never know, you never know. I have a flatmate and she does yoga normally after a crazy night out, you know, to get all the drugs and alcohol out of her system. And whenever I see her in my flat just like standing like this, you know, I always go hello, and her vocal cords, they still remember all the yelling in the club the night before, so she answers hello. This is scary as fuck. This shit nearly got me religious. I've been reading the Bible a lot lately, and I'm not a big fan, turns out, because I don't buy the whole Jesus thing, because, you know, allegedly he used to say to people, if you're hurt, he used to say, turn the other cheek. You know that thing, yeah? He said, like, turn the other cheek. And it made me think that maybe Jesus was a massive weak pussy. Because, I mean, a strong person would never go turn the other cheek, right? I mean, my father, he's a martial artist. When I was 5, and I was complaining to him about other kids stealing my toys, he said, Lena, just like, make a fist, like start from the little finger, make sure the thumb is on the outside, and you aim for the chin. That's how you knock the person out. I was 5, he was a martial artist, he didn't mention turning the other cheek. That's what a strong person suggests. So now with the whole, you know, this concept, what would Jesus do? You know, people say, like, what would Jesus do? Yeah, you've heard about that? And I don't buy that shit. Because first of all, the guy died when he was 33, right? Do we want to do what he did? I'm not sure. Also he was the son of God, right? Not even God himself, the son of God. So it's like being the rich kid at school, like annoying, you know, just like, oh, I'm there, I'm doing stuff, I have superpowers. Of course he had friends because of the superpowers. And the thing is, what he did with his superpowers was very immature. It was like, I mean, of course he would heal an occasional person here and there, you know, for promotional purposes. But other than that, the whole turning water into wine, if you ask me, like, it's very immature. Can you imagine these poor people of that village going like, Jesus, can you please, like 1 week later, Jesus, can you please turn wine back into water? We're all severely dehydrated here, dying of alcohol poisoning. We're all fucking each other, everyone's pregnant, can it please stop? And Jesus would go like, no, wine is cool, have some fish. You know, this is immature. And also, if he died when he was 33, it means that he was doing all of his miracles when he was in his 20s, right? Like he was talking to people, all his words of wisdom happened then as well. And people in their 20s, they're very horny. So they're just trying to get laid. So that's why the whole thing, like, love each other, please love each other. So he's just like trying. So I'm not buying anything he used to say. Are you guys all super religious or something? No? Okay, cool. Do you know who Jesus is? That's good. I think he's very well promoted. I'm envious of the guy, though, in a way. But the thing is, we all go, he was so wise, he was so clever, he was so clever. But I mean, was he educated? Not really. And also, what do you really know when you're 33? Because I'm 34, right? If I die right now, nobody would go, do what Lena did. People would go, don't do what Lena did. Look at her lying in the puddle of her own vomit with a massive what would Jesus do tattoo all over her chest. You know, that's the thing. And also I think Jesus is the reason why God hates us. If God exists at all. I mean, like, obviously one of the main reasons why God hates us is that God is not his real name. Right? I mean, would you actually think that a person with a name, like 3-letter word, would create a universe? Like God, Tim, Rob. Hey, my name is Rob, what have you been up to today? And just created humans. No, I'm not buying that shit. His full name is obviously Godric. Yeah, so you should respect the guy better, I think, before you're praying to God. Like, it's kind of very informal. But I think that on top of everything, when Godric was still young, 2,000 years ago, he traveled to Earth, he hooked up with a human female, and then he went back up there thinking, this is heaven, and turned out that she was pregnant, right? And he thought, nobody will notice anything. I mean, nobody would know that was a pigeon, whatever. Nobody cares. And then turns out that the guy, the bastard, never shut up about being the son of God. Yeah, it's like the worst one-night stand ever. Everybody up there was going, Jesus, seriously? Oh my God. And the Godric was going, like, maybe he had a wife up there, and she totally got tired of all the attention. Some random child gets all the attention on earth, and she was going, Godric, how come Jesus gets all the attention? What about our son Kevin? And then Godric did the right thing. He said, you know, maybe I'll kill the bastard. Oh, this way people will definitely forget about all this nonsense, right? It'll be just little tiny crucifixion. Nobody will talk about it thousands of years later. And look what happened, right? Easter, Christmas, all that shit. Seriously, God is such a miserable bastard. No wonder life is shit. So actually, if you don't want to end up like God, my advice to you, which I never follow, unfortunately, because I trust people, is when you're traveling, please use condoms. Just like, to be safe, because you never know where Jesus comes out later. But I'm actually not a fan of the whole religious thing, just like you. I prefer Greek mythology. Oh my God, oh my God, it's a moth. Oh shit, no, I nearly caught a moth. I was so proud of us. I have a lot of moths at my place, and I'm actually very good at it normally, but like, I'm sorry. If you want to see me catch moths, you can come to my place. I live with my stalker. I have a stalker. It's like, it's still there. Shit. I got it! Can you see it? Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, you know, I have a stalker. I recommend everyone to live with their stalker because you know what they say, like keep your friends close, your enemies close, or move in with your stalker. It's so nice. You just basically come home to a person who wants to know everything about you. You know, where you've been, what you're up to, what's the color of your underwear. It's amazing. I recommend it to everyone. But guys, let's not digress. It's a very educational part of the night. I'm talking about Greek mythology to you right now. Greek mythology, Zeus. Do you know Zeus? Cool. So Zeus, not in like German Zeus, like the Greek god, yeah? So, Zeus, he was a great dude. He was fucked in the head, possibly literally, because his daughter Athena came out of his head. But he was a very kinky god, that's why I love him. What he did, he hooked up again with human females, got them pregnant, then gave them islands, made them queens. And the thing is that he never did it in his normal shape, he always used a disguise. He did it as a bull, he did it as a swan, and as rain. Can you imagine how strong the rain has to be to make a woman pregnant? That's insane. And then also he was the king of gods, like the main god. So technically it shouldn't be difficult for him to get laid, right? So can you imagine how insecure he was if he did it in disguise? And also maybe he just loved kinky women, like, oh, she wants the bull, okay, then I'm down. But also if he needed a disguise for like security reasons, and so people would not find out that it's him, why not just turn into a normal human? Why do be a swan? Because I think it's way more suspicious when there's a bunch of horny animals in the area. You know, and especially if you know that Zeus potentially can do that, like, people could get ideas. Because you know, like, I love pigeons, but they do this thing where they stand and they go like this. Like, can you imagine some people go, you know, this pigeon is totally checking me out. Maybe it's Zeus. You know what I'm going to do? That's how zoophilia started. He ruined everything first. But also, can you imagine how good his game was? Because I mean, I love dogs, right? But I never go, dog, you and I go into a elope. I just like, I like them. But like, so, and the whole swan game, like, can you imagine that? Amazing game. But also, he had a wife as well. All gods have wives. It's annoying. Why have a wife if you're a god? And maybe he had an arrangement with her where he was telling her, honey, when I'm a duck, it doesn't count as cheating. It was my time, guys. Give it up for Liliana.
It's almost that time of the night where we have to say goodbye. It's difficult for me. I like to keep things forever. I'm monogamous. Thank you, one person. But speaking about stalkers, I would think that I'm a stalker more than most of the men who stalk me. Because when they stalk me, I give them responsibilities. If you were to tell me, I love you, I am obsessed with you, I will show up at your house with 4 shoeboxes full of pictures of me. And I expect a mural to be done by the next day. Unfortunately, I've lost a few clients that way. True story. This night tonight has been brought to you because we shared a space in Edinburgh Fringe, and I don't know who stopped who, whether Shameless, Comedy Berlin, Pussy Powered Protest stopped the B, Comedy UK people, or they stopped us. Either way, it feels pretty even. The energy feels pretty evened out. But I want to bring my co-host up before I bring the last performer of the night up. Marco De Pinto, will you join me, please? Marco, do you know what time it is?
It's very late, I guess. Guys,
No, I'm not asking for the real
11
time.
p.m.
Do you know what time it is?
Of course, it's time for asking for money, guys. I spent all my savings to be here. I called the guys with me. We come from London.
That's right. They've been traveling on buses.
14 hours, Paris to Berlin.
It hurts. It hurts to love what you do, to do what you love. So we would appreciate if you all want to throw in some foldable bills. Things that don't make noise. All right? And if they do make noise, at least 10 that I can grab when I do a Kegel. It's too descriptive, but it's the right amount of money.
We need a hostel tonight as well, guys. It's very cheap in here, so I guess.
That's right,
yeah.
that's right. So ladies and gentlemen, we still have a fabulous, fabulous last performer. He has lived in Berlin. He lives in Italy now. He's on television. He's a clown, but not just any clown. A clown that's close to my heart. Oh. We miss him here, so we're so happy to have him back in Berlin for whenever we can get him.
Please welcome on stage the great Filippo Spreafico, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, you
want a hug?
Give me a hug.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, so you're still here. Great. So there have been five Italian performers so far. What are we gonna learn more with another one? We're gonna find out. Okay, so this is. So anyway, we start very well. You. Oh yeah. Oh my God! I don't want to. Thank you very much. I'm a comedian. I'm a comedian and musician. So what's not funny is lyrics. Musical lyrics, whatever. I just I have legs. I had an accident recently. I had this accident that's just an injury, and then I went to the hospital, and I want a wheelchair, but they gave me crutches. Both things anyway are useless when you break your wrist. So this is what TV looks like. So anyway, we carry on now. How much time do I have? Okay. Right. Real. So I was a mistake. I was a mistake. I was born as a mistake. My parents met in a cutlery shop. A cutlery shop. You go there. You say, "Do you have a colander?" No. Cutlery. Do you have a grater? No. We have forks. So 7 forks, right? Anyway, that has got nothing to do with what I wanted to say. I just thought I say it. Okay, so I was born as a mistake. My father was a magician, and yeah, he was doing a show, and he had to do the trick with the hat with the rabbit, and we went to extract the rabbit, and I came out. He made a mistake, but he raised me and fed me carrots. Okay. Good joke. C major. Okay. So I'm Italian. I'm Italian. Many other who's Italian? Real shit. So I'm Italian, and I self-identify as an English speaker. I love the English language, the language of Shakespeare, Beckett, Madonna, Molière, if you're translating from French, and C minor, and I have been basically. I went. You know. I'd say this later. I want to do another bit now. I've decided. I want to do another bit because I feel you. You don't want logical, straight stand-up. You want something more. You want something that has confusion in it because you've seen so much straight stand-up so far. I don't know what I'm actually saying right now, but at least, hey, boy, I look good. So, I come from a small town. Hey, everybody, hey, there are only small towns in Italy. So I come from one of those. I come from one of many problems in my small town. Some families cannot afford a third home. And then there are other places, other problems. Trains are on time. People are late, so the trains have to wait. And this creates like a whole chain of events. Has created many problems. Only Italians will get this. It created Bayonne, Cogne. It created 9/11. Like a lot of, I guess and then like young people, poor young people. Unfortunately, young people, they are overqualified, so they cannot find overqualified work. Because they are overqualified, so the people don't understand, so they have to leave, they go abroad, and even then they don't manage to do anything because they have meetings and they're late. So unfortunately nothing happens, so all of these problems, so many problems. So, and I moved to, as I said, in my love for the English language, I met the guy with Molière, I don't know if you remember, I did that before, and and I moved to England. I moved to England, and I sort of ran away from home, but I'm Italian, so my mother came with me, and I went there, and I gave it. That was the first year, and the second year I went to university, studied. G major, and I went to university. I studied university. University were so cheap back in the, but now they're not that cheap, because back in the days they invested in weapons of mass destruction, which create a certain cash flow. And now, no, not anymore. Not anymore because now it's immoral if you are to invest. A lot of things at university, a lot of beautiful things, a lot of extracurricular activities such as Latinox cricket and Posh Puppet Theater, which is puppet theater for posh people. Okay, and to support myself, I took a milestone. No, to support myself, I worked in a restaurant. It was a French restaurant, and I worked as an Italian waiter. No, I worked as a French waiter. Sorry, as a French waiter. Come on. Oh, haha. It's really quiet when it's quiet, huh? It's really quiet when it's quiet. I worked in a French restaurant as a French waiter, and usually it was like this. Hi, I'm a customer. Tell me more. Tell me more about your culture before I eat. I know this is not a British accent. Hello, hello, I'm Italian. I eat pasta, I love pizza, I come 50 kilometers away from Milano, 50 kilometers away from Bergamo, 10 kilometers away from xenophobia. I love it. I am no longer relevant for the purposes of this joke. So, and then I studied anthropology. I don't know if it's clear to you. Anybody knows anthropology? Okay, so anthropology is this. There was a big sign outside of. There was a big sign outside of the department, and it said anthropology is the most scientific of the humanities and the most humanistic of the sciences. Oh. So you can do a lot of things when you graduate in anthropology. I don't know if you're aware of, wow. I don't know if are you aware? Are you aware you're here? No, you said no? Okay, very well. Are you aware? Are you aware? Anthropology, you can do many things. You can work in an NGO, you can save refugees, save the whale, you can save anything. You can save water, food, dogs. You can work as a filmmaker, you can work in a bank, you can work in a law firm, you can start fights between dogs in Papua New Guinea, you can become Indian TV personalities, impersonator, you can play soccer in a Brazilian beach, you can do a lot of things, and also you can become an anthropologist, which includes all of the previous careers I have listed. Haha. C major. So, what was the funny bit about this? Really, we don't know. But hey, comedy is subjective. So, anyway, so climate change. Climate change. One day you're hot, one day you're cold. So moody. I'm okay with Greta. I want her to live. I'm happy if she stays alive. That's what I want. I don't know why I even say this, honestly, but I know. I have one theory, only one. My God, how many theories, Filippo, do you have? Only one theory. I believe that climate change is caused by you, and you, and you, and you, and you. When you listen to bad music, the earth is vibration. The earth is a whole symbiotic system. The earth is real. The earth is something we cannot even conceive. The earth itself is made of waves. So when you listen to what you listen to, what you don't like? Nothing. When you listen to nothing, let's say it's Drake. Then when you listen to nothing, to Drake, or to maybe anybody else, maybe, I don't know, Gypsy King. I don't know. The vibrations go around the earth. Yes? Oh, hi, Winton, how are you? Hey, I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you? Oh, so good to see you. Yeah, don't enter the stage. Are you crazy? Crazy. Oh my God. So when Winton is a musician, for instance. So when all the vibrations of the earth and they reach the North Pole, polar bears get really angry, and they all get all heated up, and they sweat, and then all the ice around them melts, and then the Greenland is disappearing. So and then they fall inside there because the ice and it makes a hole around them, and they fall in water, and they fall in a plastic bag. And they paid €1, and they die. So this is what I can you believe it? This is what I believe. A lot of theories out there. So when do I finish this? When do I have to? Yeah, 2. Oh wow. So do you guys want to hear a song?
Yeah.
I don't actually have a song, but I will sing it anyway. I remember when I learned English, it really was. I like this has become more of a confessional thing. You know it because I'm not holding the mic in my hand. Usually when you hold it, hey, I'm a comedian. But now when you have this is very important. I remember when my grandfather taught me how to drink, because he said drinking gives you courage. It gives you courage when the police stops you when you're driving. It gives you courage to face what is. And also in that period, I was 9 years old. I was already driving, and I remember back in those days, English language to me was just a sound, was a compilation of and the first song I learned was this, and I will sing it to you. I don't know if you might remember this. You might remember this song. Go with the backing track. Is the backing? Okay, there's no backing track. I've been playing games. And you're playing games. This is not part of the show, huh? I'm just... Okay, Onyinye, I'm fine. You fucked it for me. It was supposed to be a gag, Liliana, that the backing vocals doesn't show up, and then I do the gag. Okay, so it didn't work. Ha! Comedy sometimes fails. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, it's now the last bit, my best joke. It's coming now, best joke now. So I went to Australia. We have any Australians? Any Australians here? We have any Australia? Okay, no, God damn it, not my night. I was about to do some dirty jokes about Australians, how they have no culture, how they kill snakes and repair trucks and kill Aboriginal people. But unfortunately, they're not here. Ha ha! So I went to Australia and I met, wow, big mic stand, and I met an Italian kangaroo. First time I saw him, and now I will show you. So make an impression of Italian kangaroo. I don't have to pay taxes. Oh no, I cannot fight. Oh, my hands are too weak. Okay, this was my closer, my big bits. I hope, madam, I'm so glad you were here, and all of you also. I hope. Can I? Okay, thank you very much.
A guy from Philadelphia, is it Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, what was it?
America.
United States. And we have been tonight, Beat Comedy UK. I hope you had a great time. Thank you all for being here. Big round of applause for yourselves. Give it up for Liliana. We appreciate you all. We're here every Sunday with an open mic. If you are ever curious to try things from music, comedy, poetry, we welcome everyone. And we are very excited about tonight's lineup. Thank you all. To all the performers of tonight.
Thank you.
Big round of applause.